Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024, and it is definitely a mental health Monday today. We have she's actually not a guest in the building. She's a vet, a charter member of the Java Cafe. We actually, due to the Java Cafe, were able to partner and do some things during the pandemic. And so before we jump in with our Java family member, I just want to say a belated birthday to brother Obi, Boston's #1 photographer, to my baby sister Tamisha. Both of them had birthdays yesterday. Obviously we weren't on yesterday, so wishing them a belated birthday today. Shout out to everyone that's listening over on Instagram and Twitter as well. July is Men's Minority Health Month, and we're going to bring in some brothers toward the end of the month. Our good brother Carlos was around. We were trying to set up some time to talk with him. Dr. Kevin Simone is coming in and closing out with us at the end of the month. But Toy Burton is a young woman who has been very active in the city of Boston when it comes to being promoting mental wellness. And some years ago, even before the Java Cafe, I had her come over, seeing what she was doing. And we had a very informative conversation about the difference between mental wellness and also addressing your mental illness. And so without further ado, I would like to bring into the Java Cafe. She is a vet. I really want to go back from the first episode or the first time you were on Java with Jimmy to now. You got little extra pictures up, got little things going on in the background there. Good morning, Miss Toy. How you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for having me again and again and again.
Everything is perfect, Toy, as far as what we are working on in the background. One of the things that I really forget to attribute to you always is because I know you in the work of DeeDee's Cry, but also you're the founder of the Roxbury Unity Parade as well. And so we're going to talk about that. And so for those that may have not seen you before, or seen an episode that you were on, or are aware of DeeDee's Cry, and let's just name, I'll let you tell it in a few minutes, but introduce yourself, say good morning to the Java family, and we're going to go in and talk about your journey with DeeDee's Cry and a lot of huge impact. Like in the last year, you've had, I'll say, 2 major milestones that have to do with a state standard and also some state support. And so, good morning.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Like James said, or Jimmy, I call him James. My name is Toy Burton, and I am the founder and executive director of DeeDee's Cry Suicide Prevention and Family Support. DeeDee, she was my sister, Danita Morris. She died by suicide when she was 23 in 1986. But a lot of people think that I started DeeDee's Cry because she died by suicide, which is not true. I started DeeDee's Cry in 2017 after being on websites of organizations that focused on suicide prevention. And I got angry because I didn't see anybody who looked like me. And that's how DeeDee's Cry came about.
Well, that happens in our community a lot, Toy, and I got some tech stuff going on here in the background. That happens in our community a lot, to where and it's a foundational thing why Java with Jimmy got started. Saw a lot of misinformation, and we as community members, we step up out of frustration, and we have the feeling if we're going through it, so is someone else. And so, 1, thank you for your service, and 2, while we're in the introductory period, where did this notion of the Roxbury Unity Parade come from?
So a lot of things went into that. I want to say in 2015, when I was going to school downtown and seeing all the tourists, um, I was like, how come they're not in Roxbury spending their dollars? And I was like, Roxbury needs something to make people come into Roxbury. So I thought about a parade because at the time the Patriots were winning, the Brumans were winning. I think the Red Sox won, and there was just so many parades. I'm like, Boston is known for parades. So I had the thought then, but then like with campaigning with Tito Jackson, and we was like in the Dominican parade and Dorchester parade, and I was like, wait a minute, how come Roxbury doesn't have a parade? But then in 2017, there was a lot of violence in the city that summer. And I felt like my city was hurting. And I said, we need something to bring us together. And that's where the unity come from.
It is. And this year will be you did it in 2020, we changed it to a caravan. Was 19 the first year?
2018 was the first year.
28. So this is year number 6 coming up on July 8th.
So it'll be
21st.
our 7th parade, though. Yeah, I get confused counting it that way because I count it as how many times I've done it. So this will be our 7th parade.
All right. And how many times you've had to fill out the permit, get people to sponsor and all that other stuff. And I've been on the road with you a couple of times with that. Yes. And then again, 2020, we changed it to a caravan. We wrote, and that was very interesting. A lot of adjustments in 2020. And so, Toy, one of the things that you do, and we're going to get into some of the 2 milestones that I referred to, but that need that you saw in community has now turned.
So was that me messing up? So I'm not sure if it's my internet or James' internet. I can't hear you. And you had disappeared.
It's mine.
For a quick second. Okay.
No, it's mine. I was on the road and I should have tested it, but whenever I come back, there's always these wonderful little things you got to work out. That's why we need a road setup and another setup. Okay, there we go. So we were talking about what you're doing in community, and a lot of that is focused on suicide prevention. And you, a couple of weeks ago, past few years, it is the Men's Health Summit that you've done as well. July is Minority Men's Health Month. And so why did you focus as a woman, take this focus in addition to everything else you're doing? Why did you center a focus on Black men?
I just felt like women get held up a lot. If you're a Black-owned, women-led business, like, I don't know. I just felt like men just don't get held up as much.
Yep.
So I felt like it was just important to create a space to show our men that we see them, we recognize them, and we cherish the things that they do. We appreciate the things that they do.
It has definitely been powerful these last few years. From the health information that we get, is definitely a focus on mental health information as well. But from the doc that comes every couple of years, the award that you give out, and just seeing the progress of the Men's Health Summit has been great. And then you also do Mental Health While Black, which is in February, correct?
Correct.
And tell us a little bit about that.
So the reason why it's in February, I know it's cold, but I felt like we need to just pay homage to Black History Month. And so there's always a Black History Month little piece in it. But the first Mental Health While Black that we did was in 2019.
Yep.
I felt like it was just important to let people know that they're not alone. And for us to share our stories, because when people see other people sharing their stories, it empowers them. Because I know it empowers me. So that was the first one. And so the one that we do at Encore is supposed to be a fundraiser for DeeDee's Cry. So
Okay.
people usually say like, why does it cost so much? But all our events all year are free in the city.
Let's just keep it 100. They're free for the participants, but they're not free. But go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So those are the only two events that we do each year that do cost money, because it costs money to do those events, lots of money to do those events. And like I said, I would love for it to get to a point where it's generating funds to support the work of DeeDee's Scribe. But even if it never gets there, we'll still be doing them because I feel like it's important.
And that's one thing that like I and others in community have observed about you. You're definitely a hustler when it comes to sponsorships, once in a while leading up to an event every couple of weeks. Sponsorship alert. And so we definitely appreciate that, because it should be a given that a lot of this work is just supported without the writing of the grants and the advocacy. But on a sort of different note, your work has been noticed by the state. And so let's talk about that. I saw a post a few weeks ago where I sat there for 2 seconds and I was like, so what made me open my mouth like that? I wish I had a little drum thing, but I don't want to hit nothing here because it might knock the camera out again. So what was it that you posted about 2 months ago, maybe?
Yes. So last year, the state put out an RFP for funding for suicide prevention. And DeeDee's Scribe was one of the awardees for a 10-year grant. So over the 10 years, we'll get
Hold on. You just say that so casually. A what year grant?
10-year. A 10-year grant. So over the 10 years, over $800,000.
All right, Toy. That's a beautiful thing, Jesus. And so we covered a lot of the business. Now let's get into some of just you being in this work and the business. And before we go, we're going to talk about August 5th as well, because that is a fundraiser that's coming up with our good brother from Sure Shot. Did I get it right? Shot for Shot. Clothing. Shot for Shot. What is it? Say it again.
Shot for, like in golf, you say four. Shot.
Okay. They're doing a different type of intentional fundraiser for you in August, and so we're going to talk about that as well. Yours truly is going to be the MC, so plan to come out and see us there and support that. But Toy, from your perspective, in all of this work, in getting the grants and advocacy in general, from your perspective, how would you describe the state of Black mental health in one word?
In one word, silence.
Why would you say silence?
Because I think a lot of people are still just suffering in silence.
With all this trending, self-care, the sexiness of I got a therapist and all that other stuff, there's still a population of people that's suffering in silence.
Yes. And it could be due to social media, because in social media, everybody's just posting their best, like when they're on a cruise, when they're on vacation, but nobody is posting about struggling to get out of bed, struggling to make their car payment, struggling that their lights got cut off, right? So people are still suffering in silence because they think they're the only ones going through it. And so they're looking like, oh, this person is at the Essence Festival this week, and instead. And so the depression, the anxiety, all that, because they're thinking, I can't share this because everybody's sharing about their trips.
Yep. And yep. And even more so, now I asked in the general, you're not a man, but you work and you have brothers and cousins and whatnot. Based on what you said about the suffering in silence, how would you, if I were to ask you to say one word in reference to men who are suffering in silence, what would be one word that you use for that? And let's go a little bit deeper there, since it's men's, they say minority, I say men's of color, mental health month.
One word for men. I would have to go with, I was going to say weakness just because they think that sharing is weakness.
Yep.
Um, and we need to dispel that myth that seeking help is strength. It takes a lot for anyone, men, women, anyone, to say, I need help.
Yeah. And that is, you know, there's this thing again, and I reference to it all the time. I am a man that, you know, we tend not to prioritize our health, especially our mental well-being, which is a part, you know, of our overall health, but it's just very different. And it's so, what's the word? It's so, just with everything that's out there as far as resources and whatnot, to hear you say that and you move in this space by your observation, and we know, you know, it's a given that some people are still suffering in silence, and posting is what the old folks used to say to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? So that is definitely real. Do you see progress, Tori? Because I think in 2020, when we first started talking, there's a perspective around mental wellness and addressing mental illness. Yourself, Naisha, Dr. Brandy, Joey Bennett from Yard Time, like a lot of people, Brother Bourne, a lot of people are moving in the space of wellness. What do you see? Do you see the impact and progress, though we still have a lot of growth? Do you see progress in our community?
Definitely. With COVID, that helped people focus on their mental wellness. Um, so that's what I said is like a good thing about COVID, because it did bring that conversation to the forefront.
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely a leader in that conversation.
Yeah, because DeeDee's Cry started in 2017. Um, so even like with the death of George Floyd, helped people put funding behind mental wellness.
Yeah, in Black communities, though we know about 85% of that money all of a sudden disappeared. Where, Toy, if you were able to speak to legislators, if you were able to speak, and I think one day you probably will be called to DC. Prayerfully, everything goes well in November. That this stays a priority in health and human services. But if you had an opportunity to speak to legislators and because the grant writing, the priority and line items and whatnot, you work with Tina Sherry. Shout out to her and the Delaney group. They were able to make. Oh, one other thing. Hold on. There's similar to what Tina Sherry does. She's one of your mentors. Tina has the guide for those that are dealing with homicide. Have you been on since since there's an official you know, what tell us what else you done did?
Uh, if I would have known what I was going to talk about, I would have had it. So,
I'm sorry.
So, like I said, with the Peace Institute, they have, like you said, a guide for those who've been impacted by homicide. So I went to Tina, and through a grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield, we was able to create one for suicide. So we just tweaked their guide for suicide, and with the support of the Samaritans and the Boston Public Health Commission and families who've been impacted by suicide, we came up with this guide. So when there is a suicide in the city, the Boston Lost team goes out and supports the family. It's so funny because I did an email about that this morning, because my birthday was last week.
Happy belated.
You know my
hold on. Toy is like, wait a minute, you mentioned belated birthdays. Let me mention mine. Happy belated birthday to Toy. Y'all put that in the comments.
Thank you. So if you know my story, I am a suicide attempt survivor. So I struggled with depression, suicidal ideations, and I say voices in my head. And so even though I still have voices in my head, they're not telling me to take my life like they did before. And I'm like, everybody has voices in their head. Sometimes our voices be like, you're gonna get the job, or you look great in that bathing suit, or you know, you're superstar. But sometimes our voices are not kind, right? They can fat shame. They can say you're not gonna make it. You'll never get married, or whatever the case may be. And I like to bring that to the forefront to let people know that we all have voices, because people might think they're the only ones who have the voices that just totally brings them down. But
Yeah.
we're here for that. So DeeDee's Cry, we do have a group called I'm Still Here. It's a support group for those of us who consider suicide, because not everyone who thought about suicide actually attempts.
Yep.
So we have that space and support. And that's every Sunday. Well, except for this Sunday because the parade, but every Sunday after that, we are here.
So I'm going to put the you did a little upgrade on the website. I'm gonna put the website in the comments so folks can hyperlink to it right there. And from the website, you can get all of the information. Now, is the Roxbury Unity Parade info on DeeDee's Cry website, or do you keep that separate?
Keep it separate.
Okay. Yes. So in the comments right now, you can go Toy reference to the group, Toy reference to the guide, Toy reference to also there's a donate button on DeeDee's Cry as well. And as I often say to the Java family, $5, $10 from about 50, 75 people adds up. And that could be a banner for DeeDee's Cry. That could be pamphlets made. So also consider donating as well. And again, it is hyperlinked right there. And so let's get ready to talk about a couple of events coming up, stepping more into the Roxbury Unity Parade. So this Sunday, we got Friday, the Covered by Music graduation. Saturday, we have Boston Wild Blacks family reunion on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we close out the July Black weekend. That's what I'm going to call it. The July Black weekend with the Roxbury Unity Parade. So what's going on with that? Where are we meeting? Last year, I think they changed the route. What give us an overview of what's going on Sunday.
Oh, so last year, no, for those who don't know, year one, torrential rains, the city wanted us to cancel. I said, nope. Year two, heat wave. The city was like, what you going to do? I'm like, nope. Year three, COVID. The city was like, you got to cancel. I'm like, nope. So we were the only parade that did not cancel in 2022.
In 2020?
Yeah, in 2020. The only one. The whole city shut down. We did not. We became a caravan.
I still got the footage.
Like James said. Yep. So last year, tornadoes touched down in Massachusetts. So it was torrential rains again last year. Yes. So we didn't even walk. So we had to like rush everybody from Jim Rice Field back to Madison where we were undercover.
Yeah.
So with us doing that, what we're going to do this year is once the parade goes out, we're going to come back to Madison.
So it's like a circle to go back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So everything will be there. Hood Fest, which is live music. If you want to perform in Hood Fest, I was going to say reach out to Supreme Richardson, but I'm not even sure if the lineup is done. He might get mad at me telling people to reach out.
All these texts about performing in this field already, so maybe not reach out right now. Toy can let us know. She can post and tag us if there's still slots open. I'm going to put the Roxbury Unity Parade link in the comments as well. Oh, Toy, you've been getting busy on this little technology. Okay, well, Toy. Nothing. I'm looking at the website and I'm like, okay, because I haven't been on in a little bit because I just know and I'm in touch with you, so there's no need for me to go to the website. So listen, in addition to in addition to DeeDee's Cry, you can go to this link, which is also in the comments for the Roxbury Unity Parade. And so go to DeeDee's Cry for information about the groups. Periodically through the year, Toy has walking groups. They have in the past had a workout exercise group. There are groups for those that have attempted and are still here with us. There are groups for tell us about
okay, so we have a group for those impacted by domestic violence. Like myself, I was in a couple of relationships where the guy used to beat on me. And I felt like at the time I didn't fight back, thinking if I hit back, he'll hit on me harder or longer or whatever. But I was like, Toy, you did fight back because you're no longer in that situation. So the group is called Hitting Back Through Healing. So we have that once a month. And we have a group. I'm also a survivor of sexual assault and rape. So we have a group called Healing Begins With Me. And that's for anyone impacted by past traumas, regardless of what they are. So that group happens different times throughout the year, and it's for 4 weeks. So we ask that people be committed to attend all 4 weeks. We have the men's group. So we actually have a new facilitator for that, Vladimir. So he's going to be on next month, and we're going to change some things. So we might even change the name. It's a virtual space for Black men. What else we have? We have a group for those impacted by loss and grief called Life After Loss, and that is Sundays at 9. I will be facilitating a group for Samaritans, and it's the SOSA group for suicide attempt survivors. So if you want to join that group, which starts at the end of the month, reach out to the Samaritans. That is an 8-week group. So you have to be committed to attend for those 8 weeks.
I ran into, go ahead. There's the walking group as well, too.
Yes, there is the walking group that happens on Sundays. I'll share that flyer on DeeDee's Cry. You have to email, you walk Franklin Park, the golf course, because we know that getting vitamin D and being out in fresh air is good for our mental health.
Yep. We actually had a nutritionist on last week, and Toy, if you get a chance, I think she was on Tuesday or Wednesday, and Toy, we went about an hour and a half. She read my whole life and told me that drinking coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning adds to a fat stomach. I said, oh, and whatnot. So it definitely go check that one, because she talked about vitamin D. And oh, Toy, you will love this.
What?
This woman brought down gut health and mental health. Vitamin D deficiency has an impact on anxiety and depression. Not getting the proper B12 complex. Toy, I'll send you the link. That one, Toy, that I know you're going to sit there and be like,
no, I'm deficient on both of those. And I've been fighting depression like not my whole life, but since I was a teen. And I've been vitamin B and D deficient since I was a teen. That's the thing that was so, we know we eat for health, cardio system, neurological, part of mental health. But the way we can eat intentionally for our mental health, and the relationship she made between gut health and mental health was crazy. But I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that to you when you mentioned vitamin D. Where can I find, I do stuff in real time. Shot for shot. I'm going to try to get to the website. Where can I find, there we go. Shot for shot golf apparel. We're going to put that in there too. We're going to go letting it out. Let's, and I want to ask you one question right after we talk about the fundraiser. What's going on August 5th? So August 5th, Shot for Shot golf apparel. Kenny, the owner of Golf Shot for Shot, is doing a fundraiser, and the proceeds will support the work of DeeDee's Cry. So if you are a golfer, if you know someone who golf, please tell them to sign up for this tournament. It's going to be at Franklin Park at the William Devine Golf Course. I believe it starts at 8 a.m. We need golfers to play in it, and we need sponsors. You could be a whole sponsor, or you could sponsor the event. Here it goes right here. I'm about to put the thing up right now. Tournament information, tickets. We're going to put the link right here. It's a little bit long. The Better World. Cry. Yep. Awesome. Yes, Toy, I got the right link. Don't be coming at me because I got all these technical. James, you put and Toy. One thing about Toy, she will say something to you. James, you got the wrong link. All right. Here's the link for the Shot for Shot. Shout out to Brother Kenny and his team over there at Shot for Shot. So that is the link
for the events. It's to get tickets and also to sign up for the tournament. It's the first annual. So every year, you now know on that first weekend in August, plan to be at DeeDee's Cry in the Shot for Shot golf tournament. And I think that is so awesome. And William Devine, that's Franklin Park, where that is going to be. And so can people just like stop through at the little, that room, the little function thingy up there, where the lobby?
I would think so.
Even if they're not playing.
Yeah, it's a public space. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing
to play, you need to
register.
Yes.
And pay some money. I just really thought about the fact the MC doesn't have to walk the whole course, right? I don't have to go around with them. Are you going with them?
I'm going to be in a golf cart. I don't know about you. I'm getting in a golf cart.
Toy, I ain't messing with you. Listen, folks, we got a few things we want to make sure we share with you this morning. One is, don't forget, in general, and actually on DeeDee's Cry page, you can navigate to the golf tournament as well. But this is the main place you go to get information and resources about what's going on with DeeDee's Cry. Then also, don't forget, this coming Sunday, we will be at the Roxbury Unity Parade, and that is taking place Sunday, gathering at Madison Park High School. At what time, Toy?
10 a.m. for the block party. 12 o'clock is the award ceremony. The awardees, New Edition Lifetime Achievement Award, they are celebrating their 40th anniversary. Wow. So we definitely want to pay homage to them. Michael Curry, Pillar of the Community Award. Silver Slipper, Business of the Community Award. Danielle Johnson, Sarah Ann Shaw Media Award. He was a past awardee for that award for the inaugural.
Yep, the inaugural.
Tony Richards from No Books, No Ball, the Bill Russell Sportsman Award. And forgive me if Pro Black for the Elmer Lewis Artist Award.
And
do you know him personally?
Yeah.
Please reach out to him and let him know. I did it on the website. I reached out on the website. I haven't heard anything.
I'm going to text Brother Rob right now.
Yes, please.
So he doesn't know yet. We'll be breaking it to him, and he doesn't know.
I mean, if he does, he hasn't reached out to me.
If he trust me, he ain't seen it because Rob, Rob is good like that. Shoot. I will do, you know what, Toy? Let's take a commercial break and we're going to come back and I'm going to close out with my question while I go handle something in the background. Folks, health insurance is definitely important. So please check out this message about health insurance. We didn't even get into the conversation with Toy about the challenges of getting approved visits, your initial visit. Then you got to call back and get approval and authorization for 6 more visits, depending on what type of insurance you have. But you do need to have health insurance. So here is an option for you. For folks like myself and Toy who are 1099ers.
It's like commercial break.
Her and Miss Teresa, yes, they're about to call it out. So we're going to go to a commercial break right now. We'll be right back with you.
For the innovators, the dreamers, the risk takers, independent workers who keep our neighborhoods thriving, Connector Care from the Massachusetts Health Connector has plans for every lifestyle and budget.
Having access to affordable healthcare is for everyone in our community.
Connector Care plans help more people save on healthcare that covers all their needs. Find out if you qualify for Connector Care. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
So everybody, we're back with Toy Burton, who is the founder of DeeDee's Cry, as well as the founder, curator, organizer, logistics manager of also the Roxbury Unity Parade. And so, Toy, before we get ready to go, I want to ask you a twofold question. The first one being, what do you do for self-care? Because you're like me, you are constantly going. What do you do for self-care? And then wrap it up with, what do you do for Black Joy?
So funny. Last week, I had to take a mental break. And with that, I just scheduled no Zooms, no meetings, no nothing. And that's hard for me because whenever I say I'm going to take a break, it never happens. So even
Toy.
though I was still working, it did feel good, like not to have to, jump on a Zoom or go to a meeting and stuff like that. I like to get out of town, but of course, I can't do that all the time. So when I can't, I go to Encore. I'm not sure if you ever been to Encore. They have a water taxi. The grounds are beautiful. The food is, oh my gosh, I was there for my birthday. Went to Rare. The prime rib was just superb.
Let me tell you, don't get me started talking about Rare. Because I told you, I don't know if you knew, but this is the first year I think I mentioned to you, I take my break in July. The men's summit is usually a couple of weeks before the break. So that's always my little precursor. All right, it's time to get ready. But it's definitely real that we prioritize. And I share with you, and the team has been keeping me well at it, though I do some stuff in text. We got to commit, Toy, to taking that break, because months will go by before we know it and where we haven't taken a break. And that's why we snapping at people and not as creative and whatnot. So last question, what is it that you do for Black Joy? That's self-care, and they kind of can teeter on each other, but your intentionality around Black Joy, what do you, I know you're a music person, you like comedy.
That's my answer.
Well, go ahead.
That's my answer.
I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead. Tell us, what do you do for Black Joy?
If you know me, I love going to concerts. Other than listening to music in my home and always having music blasting in my car, music actually brings my anxiety level down. So if you ever see me and the music is just blasting, that helps me. But going to live music. So what I got tickets for? Kurt Franklin's coming September 8th. I got tickets for that. It's Kurt, Marvin Sapp, the Clark Sisters, Fred Hammond.
Huh?
Yeah. So doing that. What
You
else?
know, September 8th, you know the other day that September 8th is.
Yes. So DeeDee's Cry is having a suicide walk on September 8th. Oh, you mean your birthday?
Yeah, birthday? You did not just do me. You did not look up in the air. September 8th. This is like the 12th of, oh God. There is Black Joy Weekend at ICA with Thaddeus. You're doing the walk. Kirk Franklin is coming. Brother Neil and them are doing some music, youth violence prevention art thing that day. And this is in September. So it's September 8th is going to be one of those weekends where there's like 80,000 events. But the walk is on September 8th. What time is that starting? Where is that going to be?
Oh, we're going to start at Madison. That's going to start at 10 a.m. We just want to bring awareness to suicide. So please come out, bring your signs. If your family, if you've been impacted by suicide and you had a loved one die by suicide, please get T-shirts made with their face on it, letting us know. Like I said, we're just going to do the block. Well, I don't know if I'm physically going to do the block, but we're just going to do the block, like past Whittier Street Health Center, up Ruggles Street, and come back around. Since it's our first year, and hopefully over the years it'll grow, and we'll get as it grows, we'll grow. Yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, it's DeeDee's Cry. I'm sitting here looking at, the growth in the tech space. I've seen the growth in the services that you offer. I have to mention, if I did not before, 2 incidents I'm aware of in community where folks died by suicide. And it was reported to me that like you were there literally holding people's hands, traveling with them. And so we definitely thank you and appreciate you for your service there. But
we want to talk about the memorial too.
Go the one you're trying to have placed downtown?
No, yes. It's in Roxbury.
Yes, talk about the memorial as well.
So the memorial is the Danita Memorial Hope Park on Roxbury Street. There's a park on Roxbury Street that is not activated. And we reached out to the city. They gave us authorization that we can repurpose the park as a memorial. So I'm working with Cog Design and Ray Dunce Landscaping. They're the designers of the park. And we're going to have a little community meeting August 8th. So come out to at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 4:30, light refreshments, where we'll share more about the designs and the public arts that we want in the park.
I saw that walking the other day. I was going to the reentry conference, and there's the Jeep Jones piece. I know exactly what you're talking about. There's like an arch there. Beautiful little spot, and just has the ability to look out over the ledge of Jeep Jones. And it is not you. Excuse me for 1 second. Alexa, cancel. Sorry, that I forgot. That hasn't happened in a while. And someone said they think it may be August 7th, Toy, for the community meeting. I don't know who Miranda Wright is, but August, we'll find out definitely on August 5th, because we'll announce it at the golf tournament. But that is taking place also. Toy about to check. Toy's like,
check my calendar.
I
don't want to give wrong information.
So July 20th is the Roxbury Unity Parade.
You are correct. It is the 7th. Meet us. Okay. Meet us at the park. Meeting. That's what it's called. Meet us at the park. August 7th at 3 p.m. Thank you, Miranda.
August 7th at 3 p.m. And where is that taking place? At the First Church?
No, at the park.
At the actual park. Okay.
Yes.
August 7th at 3 p.m. So people can see there. There'll be a walkthrough, and you'll be able to cast your vision.
Yes.
Okay. So that is, and Miranda said she got you. That is taking place on August 7th at 3 p.m. Miss Teresa is asking, and what is something you would like to see come into fruition in the future? Very good question. We were supposed to have the other one as the last question, but we'll ask this last one. Go ahead.
Well, actually the park, because as you know, that's going to take a few years. Yeah. So I want that to come to fruition.
The day that you cut the ribbon at the park. Yes. I'm excited. That must be in your background, because I heard somebody talking. I heard a man talking. Ain't nobody in here. All right, so ain't nobody.
I know I have to head over to Whittier Street through funding from the Boston Public Health Commission. The Chief Fund, DeeDee's Cry, is at Whittier Street once a month. The third. Is this the third Monday or the second Monday? I'm so confused. Third Monday of the month.
This is the third. Yeah, the third.
Yes. So Whittier Street, they have everything in one stop. I get my breast exam there. You could get your mammogram there. They have weight rooms. You could do that. Of course, there's dental. There's behavioral health. Yes. And another thing I want to come to fruition is our teens. Our youth. We have a program, DeeDee's Cry has a program, a no self-harm program, where we speak to young people to let them know that they don't have to harm themselves. We want to give them the tools and the skills to be able to cope before it becomes a crisis.
Toy, I've been saying, and you know this as much as, if not more than me, because of your intentionality in this space, but I'll say it just like this. We ain't seen the impact of COVID fully on our young people yet. It's demonstrating itself in the violence, the lack of social, skills for some of our young people. I was at a middle school a couple of months ago. That age group was the age group that was most impacted by the isolation and lack of some social skills. And oh boy, it is that's outside the window. It is very, very interesting. And so, Toy, keep on doing what you're doing and being encouraged. I don't need to say this here. We talk and we support one another, but I appreciate everything you do that's bringing awareness to this, because I think locally you are a huge influencer on the priority of staying mentally well, and also addressing mental illness, and also responding to issues with suicide attempts or those that need support whose family members have died by suicide. Even the way we talk and we say it now is largely attributed to your advocacy. So I just wanted to give you some flowers to match your wonderful blouse there, and get over to Whittier Street so I don't hold you up. And I will, right now, I'm planning to see you on Sunday if I'm around, Jesus, because this time of year. Anyway, Toy, thank you for what you do. Any closing words?
Just want to say thank you to everyone in the Java Cafe, and I didn't get to read all the comments. I had it on private chat and was wondering how come I can't see comments and stuff, and then I realized I had to move it over to comments. But follow me on Facebook, like DeeDee's Cry Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. Yeah, and keep just showing up for the things that we do. You know, Christmas time, we have a toy giveaway. We have our family day. We do apple picking. There's a lot of things that we do just for Black joy, right? So
it is so needed with so much fighting it. And so, Toy, again, thank you for all you do, because, again, it is definitely needed. So don't forget Sunday the 20th for the Roxbury Unity Parade, and also go to DeeDee's Cry website to get all the other information. And also don't forget August 5th for the fundraiser. And so, Toy, thank you. Get over to Whittier Street, and I'm going to go take a break and get ready to get out of here myself.
Thank you for having me, James.
Yes, ma'am. As always, love and appreciate you, hon.
Love you. Bye.
That was our Toy Burton, who was, again, the founder of DeeDee's Cry and also the curator and founder of the Roxbury Unity Parade. That's it for me this morning. UCB members, you get your hour this morning. Tomorrow is just Jimmy. We'll be with you tomorrow morning for Testimony Tuesday. Thank all of you for being here today. Again, shout out to the folks that are over on Instagram and Twitter as well. Nephew Chris will be coming. It was good to see you face to face this weekend. Chris will be coming on very soon. Dante is in the building. Good to see you in the room, brother. Also, Issa is in the building. I see Justin in the building over on Instagram. So thank all of you that's watching over there. And again, those of you over on Twitter as well. Thank you for tuning in. That is it for us this morning. Just me tomorrow. There's a lot to catch up on. I'll save it for tomorrow. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. here in the Java Cafe. Thank you all for being with us. And don't forget, there's a heat advisory. I'm literally getting ready to leave and go get an air conditioner. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. I'm just going to be an excellent landlord. And I'll leave that at that. Just by my experience with my last two. It's been very, very interesting. With that being said, talk to you guys later. Peace.